Mid-season? Yeah, we can go to mid-season. That's a good idea. Because then I can also try to extend AJ Terrell. And we can see how we're doing. So let's do it. It also won't do player upgrades until I do it or I sim it. But that's fine. It's like, it's not going to change that much. We all know Madden's playbook based. And hopefully I got some good playbooks. So, we'll see. Hope I picked the right playbooks. That's all important. We're getting there. Here we go. Here it is. We're 4-3. Oh man, 4-3. Whoa. We're gonna go 9-8. Oh man. The Madden Simulator. Woo. All right, AJ Terrell. No brainer. We are going to pay. We are going to pay him a lot of money to make sure that he stays. And really, that's not a lot of money. I mean, it is. I would accept $96 million if someone offered it to me. I'm not going to say, oh, it's not that much money. Don't give it to me. However, for AJ Terrell, who's a 91 overall corner, this is not as much money as he probably should be making. But we're going to offer it to him. And it's perfect. Hey, how about that? I mean, it's a record that'll win you the NFC South. That's entirely possible. The only other player, and here he is, Richie Grant. He's not that expensive. He doesn't have any interest in re-signing, which is unfortunate. He's really not that expensive. We could look to upgrade him, but we also do have Jesse Bates, who's like a 99 as his partner, so we don't need an elite strong safety. I'd be okay bringing him back, and we could even give him a 4-year deal. 4-year for $18 million. That's really not that bad at all. If he accepts this. He will not accept it. Okay, well. We can try him again at the end of the season. And yeah, there's really nobody else. Like, Taquan Graham. I don't mind having him for depth. That's fine. But he wants $3.5 million? As a 4th string D tackle? Come on, man. Or like Metellus here. I guess that's not that fee, but we're just gonna have to let everybody else hit the market. We'll come back to Richie Grant and see if it's worth extending him. Let's look at upgrades. See if there's any important ones that I need to do manually. Oh, like Kool-Aid McKinstry. That's a big one. Let's see what he needs. He does have just star. Really could work on that man coverage and hope we get press as well. So let's do slot. That's a good idea. Kool-Aid Youth Ministry. We're gonna get a +3 to his man coverage. And then let's go with man-to-man. Despite that not being scheme fit. We get 2 man and 1 press. Okay. He jumped up from the 100th best corner to the 73rd best corner. His man coverage went all the way up to being higher than his zone. The press is still not ideal, but again, it's also the simulation. Does it really make that much of a difference? I don't think so. But, you know, it is what it is. Arnold Ebiketie. I think for him, just go speed rusher. Try to make him the best at what he's already, pretty good at, instead of trying to increase his weaknesses. Ivan Pace. It's Ivan Pace from Cincinnati Bearcats, playing middle linebacker. Coverage. Bergeron. I was wanting to work on his pass pro. Was that a Mel voice? It kind of sounds similar to a Mel voice. Take a look at this guy. Got him out of the draft. He's a 2nd round pick. He's 6'5", 323. Big thighs. Big thunderous thighs. He likes to talk about people's thighs. So he's a 75 overall, but we've given him a skill point. Now he's a 77 overall. He's playing up with morale. Whatever TMP means, I don't really know. But here he is. He's a starting left guard in the Falcons. Second round pick. I had him mocked in the first round. I would have taken him in the first round, but, you know. Alright, that kind of devolved into nothingness, but that's fine. Every year in the draft, there's guys that got thick thighs. We're going to take them in the first round. They fall to the second round. I don't know why. I heard this recently. Mel doesn't ever mock centers in the first round. But he loves guards, and he likes tackles, of course. Everybody likes tackles. Todd. Take a look at Michael Penix here. He was a 4th round pick. He fell in the draft. I would have taken him in the first round. 25th overall. Yeah, we just go strong arm. That's fine. Todd. What's that guy's name? The comedian. The, impressionist. What's that guy's name? He used to do all the ESPN voices. Madden. Had a George Bush. What the heck's that guy's name? I don't know. Can't think of his name. He used to be on Mike and Mike in the Morning a lot. They liked him. What the heck was that guy's name? I can picture him. Oh, Frank Caliendo. Yeah. Haven't seen him in forever. They should bring him back for the draft this year. There's a guy on McAfee's show that does, what's his name? Lou Holtz. He talks like this. He's Lou Holtz. He's working for the Pat McAfee show. Like, alright, man. We get it. We get it. You're doing the Lou Holtz. We get it. Alright, we get it. Anyway. How about we go ahead and sim to the playoffs, shall we? Before I do any more impressions. Let's see. V3 is now drawing things from memory. The games did not work for her this week. She tried to play Dead Space and other games, and they're just not working. We went 10-7. Hey, 10-7 is better than 9-8. All right, I'm down for that. That's cool. It's better than falling off and going 8-9 as well, or worse. Isaac with 3 upgrades the second half of the season. That's big. We're just gonna go straight up power rush. Bergeron with 2. That's big too. I think I will still go past pro just because it's pretty low. That did knock him off from being a scheme fit though, so let's make him a scheme fit again. He's just gonna be a guard, I think. I don't know how he's gonna be a tackle for us. I guess I could swap him and McGarry, because McGarry right now is now worse at pass pro than Bergeron. Devondre Sweat. We're gonna need to increase that power rush, buddy. Brendan Rice with 2 only. Would have liked to see more for him. I did increase the XP sliders slightly. Usually I do it more than I did on this franchise, so didn't want to have any positions be an OP down the road. I'd rather things be fairly realistic. McGarry, let's give him a pass protection since he is a tackle at the moment. Since he's still on our roster at the moment, we'll see. We'll see. Kirk, hey, Cousins. Could be his final upgrade. The rating's not looking too good right there, to be honest with you. The throw power is falling off. The awareness isn't great. The athleticism isn't great. I think it's probably going to be the 2 years and done with Kirk, unfortunately. Let's go with a strong arm. awareness, throw medium. Like, if I drafted a quarterback with those ratings, I'd be like, man, he's not very mobile and his throw power is kind of low. And Kirk is like 15 years older than quarterbacks that I would draft, so it's not ideal from a Madden rebuilding standpoint to have him be our quarterback, but we can go 2 years comfortably, I think, and have a window with him. Nate Landman with an upgrade point. Our third linebacker. I started him a couple games as our number 2 linebacker last year. I had, of course, Ellis was our number 1, and then I had signed Alexander Johnson as well, former Bronco linebacker. With Clark Phillips, who's our nickel, his press is always going to be low. I'm never going to get like plus 10 press. So let's just try to make him a scheme fit with zone. And he is, okay. Plus 2 zone, not bad. Anybody else I want to manually... no. Alright. Customer called you while I'm trying to watch a B-Day stream. Don't you know it's my birthday? I'm trying to watch Falcons Rebuild. Yeah, you can tell the next person that, I'm sure. Well, we did go 10-7 and made the playoffs. We did not win the division. The Panthers went 12-5. The Panthers 12. How'd they manage that? Joe Burrow led the league in passing yards and probably touchdowns. Look at Ritter with 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. Man. Playbooks. Puka Nacua led the league in receiving yards. Max Crosby with 20 sacks. Jerome Baker led the league in total tackles. Alright, let's see some stats. Interesting stuff. They got Lynn Wagner as their coach. We had the 13th ranked offense and the 11th ranked defense. Points scored only 19th. And points allowed 14th. Okay, not bad. Just kind of in the middle of all those categories. Penix 0 for 2. That's unfortunate. So Kirk, 4,500 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 12 picks. Kind of high in real life, but not bad. I mean, anymore, if you throw double-digit picks, you're like, man, what are you throwing all those picks for? But think about it, with 17 games, it's still less, obviously, than 1 per game, so that's not too bad. 55 sacks kind of seems high. Is that kind of high among the league leaders? Or is that normal? Well, Burrow was only sacked 33 times, so I'm scared to see. Why is Kirk getting sacked the second highest amount of times? He's just not mobile, I think, is the problem. Now, Geno, who is more mobile, threw for less yards, less touchdowns, more interceptions, a lower completion percentage, and of course was sacked more times. Kenny Pickett, comparable. Herbert shouldn't be getting sacked that many times. Josh Allen, I guess I get that one, to be honest, but alright, well, that's Kirk anyway. Bijan, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4.5 per carry. All pretty good numbers, only 1 fumble. Algier, only 2 touchdowns. At least he wasn't snagging touchdowns away from Bijan, but we really didn't have that many total rushing touchdowns. 2 for Brendan Rice. Okay. 1 for our fullback, blasting game. Titan and Bear legend. Darnell Mooney hit 1,000 yards with 11 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, almost 1,000 yards with 8 touchdowns. Brendan Rice, almost 1,000 yards with 8 touchdowns. Why is Drake London, our number 1 receiver, getting that many less catches? Still had 900 yards and then only 3 touchdowns. What's going on with the targeting, Kirk? It's not a bad season at all. 900 yards, 15 yards a catch. But would like to see more than 3 touchdowns going to London. I mean, Bijan had 3. Holker had 2, backup tight end. And unfortunately for the Madden Sim, they don't understand how to get wide receiver 4 on the field. So, KJ Hamler just kind of... This the return man specialist for our team. But yeah, good for Mooney, good for Pitts, good for Rice. I don't know what to do to get London going more, except put him in the slot, I guess, as opposed to Rice. Maybe we'll do that next year. Or we could put Mooney in the slot, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that's a lot of sacks to be given up for our tackles. And even the interior guys. That's more than normal. Vamps with a dub. Welcome back. Big dub. So how much time passed for that game to take place then, Vamps? That was at least like 20 minutes, right? Not as bad as Valorant, am I right? Haha, Valorant takes a long time to play a game, get it? Do you understand? 24 minutes. That's really not that bad. 10 sacks for Isaac is good. 9.5 for Ebiketie is not bad. I would like to see Ebiketie having more than Isaac, as he's a better overall player. He had fewer tackles for loss, and half a fewer sack. So he's just kind of out there, I guess. 6 sacks still for Grady Jarrett is nice. 5.5 for Sweat is awesome. 5.5 sacks for nose tackle. It's great. 4.5 for Ellis is good. 2 for Pace. Good sack production. Interceptions. 3 for Grant. 3 for Phillips. I mean, Richie Grant, it's a nice season. I will try to bring him back again. We'll bump up the money. 2 for Kool-Aid. 2 for Jesse Bates. Not bad. Koo only missed 1 kick all year. Oh, he was so close to having a perfect season. And he missed a short one. No, Koo. What are you doing? He missed one from under 30 yards. Well, you shank it? Maybe it was cold. Maybe it was a snowstorm with 40-mile-per-hour winds. We'll just assume that's what it was. Not cool. No, man. What are you doing? Why'd you miss 1 kick? Come on. Punting's fine. Kick return. Nothing crazy. Pretty standard for the sim. So all in all, not a... Obviously, we won 10 games, so not a bad season at all. Statistically, not anything that really stood out as crazy good. I guess there were some good individual things. We went from a 83 overall to a 84 offense, so still a 380 and 83 overall, but I can't talk real good, it's fine. And of course we won't have any dev increases yet. That doesn't happen until the Super Bowl week. We already knew about Holker because he developed that in the preseason. Trash talk in the chat. And then on defense... Oh, Devondre Sweat has Superstar. Wow. Wouldn't have guessed that, but I'm glad even more glad I took him. Kool-Aid also with just star. That's fine. Based on the season they had, I don't know, maybe Rice goes up to star. I don't think Mooney will go to superstar. I don't think Pitts will go back to X Factor. I guess he's formerly an X Factor in Madden, but down to superstar. Maybe Isaac goes up to star. That would be nice. Maybe we get a random linebacker increase. baby. I have heart crosshair now. I saw they added that a while back. That's I don't see how that could be more precise than a dot or something, but you know, teach their own. If putting the heart over somebody and then you snipe them in the head, if that works, you know. In the game, in Overwatch, we're talking about. Twitch, don't ban me. Is it nice? Okay. Well, next time I play Overwatch, I'll get right. I'll get right on that. Coming from me who hasn't played Overwatch in at least months. It hasn't been a crazy long time, but at least months. Alright, Mullet. We got playoffs against the New York Football Giants. Do we win? Shadow uses it too. Maybe it's OP. I don't know. Maybe that's the real way to go. Here we go. Atlanta playoff football is back. We're taking on the Giants. We're facing the Giants. And we lost. 38-14. Bruh. Well, that's disappointing. Was Mullet here to see the playoff loss? Sean Payton fired. Interesting. Jonathan Gannon fired. That's unfortunate. A lot of fake coaches. I really wish they could get real assistant coaches in the game, but Daniel Jones is him. Is it Daniel Jones? Or did they draft a quarterback? Is it worth going through menus to find out? I guess we could go find out real quick. Unfortunate exit. It is Daniel Jones. They drafted Phil Yurkovich. Yurkovich. Former Boston College starter. Jacoby Brissett's backup. Saquon, they were able to keep him. They added Rashid Shaheed, which, from a team building standpoint, was really unnecessary when you have Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Jalen Hyatt on the roster. Why didn't you just give those snaps to Jalen Hyatt? I don't know, but they gave up a lot less sacks than us on the year. Isaiah Simmons is playing middle linebacker. That's interesting. Nine sacks for Thibodeau. 7.5 for Cleveland Farrell. Carl Lawson had 6. They got Jerzon Newton. They used 2 kickers. Yeah, nothing super crazy there either, but when it came down to it, 38-14, we go down. That's disappointing, but we move on. Such is life. We'll get them next year, right? Year 2 for sure will be a Super Bowl. These should be all our... Oh! Ooh! Okay, this gives me hope that these guys actually went up in dev. So this is interesting. Isaac with 2 upgrades is a superstar. Whoa! He went ahead and just skipped star. Went to all the way to superstar. He gained star for the season he had, and then he got superstar for defensive rookie of the year. Okay, buddy. Let's go ahead and throw on... He doesn't have many options for his ability yet, because he's less than an 80 overall. I guess this one... Still, that's huge. And he... Actually, wait. He will be... Or he might be an 80? No, he won't be an 80. Let's give him a run stop. Maybe get some block shed. Yeah, 2 block shed and a speed upgrade. Man. Well, I'm feeling pretty good about getting him over using Zach Harrison. I mean, he had a decent season, but man, he from normal to superstar. It's huge. Bijan stays at superstar. Did he win an award? Is that why he has an upgrade? No. He's just Bijan. He just gets an upgrade. Let's go power back. 2 trucking for Bijan. And then Darnell Mooney. Did he go up in dev? Maybe? Nope, just SAR, but that's fine. Deep threat. And yeah, maybe we do put Drake London in the slot next year for the sim. Make him a big slot guy. Well, let's check out awards, since we know we won at least one of them. MVP goes to Joe Burrow. Ritter at 6. Nobody else really crazy in there. All quarterbacks. Coach of the Year, Zach Taylor. Do we make the list? Okay, Jay Gordon goes 8 and 9, and he's 3rd. We're 6th. Alright. We're in the NFC. Let's check NFC awards. KJ Osborne, who's now a New England Patriot, wins Offensive Player of the Year. Okay. How does he go 8 and 9 and even get considered? I think the game takes into consideration your team's overall when it factors in Coach of the Year. Because I've seen some crazy things like, who's the Jaguars coach? Doug Marone? That didn't seem right. Former Eagles coach. Anyway, him. I've seen teams win like 4 games and get Coach of the Year. So this is an all-time sim already. Just you wait. I'm sure there's even weirder and wilder things that'll happen. Defensive player Micah Parsons. He must have had a lot of sacks, I guess. Tanner Mordecai, who is draft eligible. He's not been on any of my boards, but he started for Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay has Tampa Bay playbook, so he's going to be the offensive rookie of the year. Did no other quarterbacks land in the AFC? Or sorry, the NFC? Bowers on the Seahawks, Neighbors to the Bears. Bo Nix on the Saints. They only won 3 games. I guess that explains that. Yeah, Drake May, Jaden Daniels. Where's Caleb Williams? Was he that bad? Oh, wait. The Bears didn't take Caleb Williams, did they? He's with the Patriots. That's right. They got him at like pick 7. It was disgusting. Defensive rookies, Isaac. That's how he got superstar from star. He got to star because of his season. A bust, like I said he'd be. We'll see. We'll see. Where is Cousins at 8? So is the swap in Madden worth it to go from Ritter to Cousins? The game would say no. The game would say you should have kept Ritter. Long term, we're going to get somebody better than Ritter anyway, so it is what it is. Let's find out who wins the Super Bowl. It's the Panthers and the Chiefs. How are the Panthers so good? Panthers playbook, man. Maybe that's the move. They won 12 games with Bryce Young and swap playbook time. Do I have just straight up the Chiefs for both, I think? Schemes. Let's see. Yeah, I do. I have just the Chiefs for both. I'm still good with that. I don't think we change. Not yet, anyway. But I'll keep an eye on the Panthers. If they continue to be amazing, maybe we consider a Panthers offensive playbook. See who wins Super Bowl, and it is going to be the Chiefs. No surprise. I'm surprised it's not Chiefs and Cowboys, to be honest. We got more upgrades. They're probably the practice squad players. They are Luke McCaffrey's in here, Kendall Milton, Darius Rush. Guys that will be backups or not make the roster next year. In the sim. It could have been Dallas, yeah. Do we need to see the recap? Not really, but we'll take a look. Mahomes MVP, Super Bowl MVP. Tanner Mordecai, offensive rookie. Mason Smith won overall defensive rookie. It's a bummer that Isaac didn't win, but let's make sure we still have our coordinators. Sometimes they get hired and the game doesn't tell you, so let's go through. Don't you just love having to go through 18 menus to find what you want? Staff. Nick Gregory and Sammy Rios are still here. Alright. Let's see. I tweeted about you in the birthday stream. Did we get any traction on that tweet? No. There's people that follow me, I'm sure, that don't even know that I stream, let alone what exactly a Mullet birthday stream would entail. Well, they should come and find out, you know? Alright. Get into this off season. I'll try to make the off season go slightly quicker as well. We do have some retirements. Taylor Lewan went back to the Titans and then retired. D-Hop, Cam Hayward, Cam Jordan, Bobby Wagner. We got Jason Verrett, Robert Quinn, and Kirk. What are you doing? You're supposed to go 2 years, man. Russell. You're supposed to make it 2 years, buddy. And then I was going to move on from you. Well, we're going to trade for Desmond Ridder back. We're going to trade for Bo Nix. Let's see. I was going to try one last time to bring back Richie Grant. That does free up $20 million in cap space. He wants a little more money now, too. Which is a bummer. He wants like 15 million. So I would have to go up to at least this. And I wanted to give him 4 years. And he wouldn't accept the last offer, so we're starting to get into slightly more money than I want to pay him. If we go all the way up to 24 million, that's only 2 million more, and it increases our chance of signing him. Sanders season. I did use a real draft class for the past season, obviously, because I drafted real players. I did not import a draft class for this season, so it will all be generated players. I'm comfortable offering this. If he declines, I'm also comfortable moving on from Richie Grant. We'll see. And he likes it. Okay. So we keep Richie Grant. Our secondary is intact. Don't have to replace anybody there. We're going to need a quarterback. And we're going to need possibly a change on the offensive line because we gave up way too many sacks. Second most in the league for sacks. And that might start with Caleb McGarry, but we'll see. Just not a overall wise, not a very good pass protector. And Matthews gave up the same amount, even though he is better. So we'll see. Harry Harrison season. Maybe. Maybe Harry Harrison. Maybe Lucas McCain, JT Rivers, or Kevin Iglesias. They're the top available quarterbacks in this draft class, apparently. I haven't done any scouting. Haven't done any mock drafts. Sounds like a Madden name. Harry Harrison. Let's see if there's any fat of the roster that we should move on from, first of all. Could also go to Michael Penix. He's a 69, he's 25. This is kind of Desmond Ridder in real life, right here. Not the upgraded version that plays for the Vikings in this franchise. Matt Corral's not going to make it. I think we're going to have to get somebody that's not Michael Penix. I think Penix is just kind of maxed out as being the backup in this franchise. If he was already in the 70s, if his awareness was a bit higher, maybe. Look at Duggan with 42 awareness. Kendall Milton will make the team. He'll be our third running back. Don't have a fullback. We added Luke McCaffrey, who's wearing number 11. We'll go ahead and change that. We'll give him a better looking face as well. One of the newer faces. That Corral player model looks so good, and my guy can't reach 60 overall. Maybe in the upcoming UFL video game, right? I'm sure they'll make one of those. They honestly should. They should get the money down for that and make a UFL game. I'm sure The Rock could afford to make a game. Just give him this face, I guess. That'd be kind of dope. I'm talking myself into liking the idea. Throw him in Madden. UFL mode. Chase Allen's not going to make the roster. Madden 23 had Canadian teams? 03. Yeah, I kind of remember that. There were some Maddens that had like European teams. Some had like fake, fully customized teams. Yeah, they used to do cool stuff like that. Not anymore. To quote Soldier 76. Here's what I think we'll do with Caleb McGarry, since he gave up so many sacks and we still don't have a right guard solution. At least for the time being, I'm going to kick him back inside to guard. But I think they also have had Canadian teams. That sounds right to me. But came and ruined Madden forever. Honestly, for us who don't play the mode, I totally agree with that. It sucks that they ever invented that mode. It is the ultimate money grab. You can play with the players that are already in the game, but now it's a card game, and now you have to buy the cards every year. And people love it. People do it. So it worked. It's not like it's a bad concept, you know, just unfortunate. We are going to need a right tackle. Alex Wright, maybe he hangs around. Plenty of defensive ends. Too many defensive ends, actually. David Onyemata is going to be a trade piece. Thomas Booker can be our D-tackle 3. We are going to trade Onyemata. We'll save $6.5 million. And he already wasn't really playing. We could also consider trading Grady Jarrett. I'd hate to trade Grady Jarrett on your birthday. Grady Jarrett's like a player that should just be a career Falcon, and I really should never let him go. So I'm not going to do that. And he's also a mentor. That helps as well. Yeah, but we are going to trade Onyemata. Linebacker, pretty much the same as what we had. Corner, maybe Darius Rush makes the team. And then safety. Helms and Oladapo both have future starter tags. I don't know about that. I don't know if either of them is going to be a future starter, but still have Koo, still have Pinion. There's not really a whole lot that we have to do, and we have a lot of draft capital. We have our own first, we have 2 seconds, we have 1, 2, 3 thirds, we got 3 fourths, no 5, but 2 sixes and a 7. So there's no way I'm going to make all those picks. This should probably be a quarterback and right tackle centric offseason. I think we got to do whatever it takes to solve those 2 problems. And that will start, of course, with free agency. We already have 50 players as well. We really don't need all those picks. Amon-Ra St. Brown. 99 overall Amon-Ra X Factor. How do the Lions not have money to pay him? What did they do? That's crazy. Tua hits free agency. I don't think paying a quarterback is the right move. We have $44 million in cap space, but we have so many draft picks. He wants $40 million per year, of course. Jordan Love would be an upgrade over Kirk. He's an 80. Situation is not great, I would say. We could get Jordan Love. He's going to want $30 million for 5 years. And then it drops off to Mac Jones and Zach Wilson and Will Levis. How's Will Levis already a free agent? They must have cut him. He'd be a better backup than Penix with 90 throw power, but that doesn't help us for the sim. Nick Chubb, we obviously don't need. I'm glad the Browns did not release him in real life this offseason because there was some rumbling that they may do that because of the cap situation slash him coming off an injury, which really would have sucked if they had done that. Fullback, I'm not worried about. We're not going to pay a fullback a lot of money. Receivers, am I good on Brendan Rice? Do I think he's going to be our wide receiver 3? I mean, we have the money. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown basically wants $30 million. That's a lot of money. Rondale Moore, I wasn't able to get him before. He was actually traded mid-season last year to the Bills. And the Bills extended him. So, wasn't able to get him. That's why we ended up drafting Rice. And it's also part of why I extended KJ Hamler, even though the sim doesn't utilize him. Pat Freiermuth hits free agency. Don't need him. Dion Dawkins. Bill for life. He claimed. He's a free agent. That could be a way to solve our left tackle problem. Landon Dickerson could be a way to solve a missing link on the offensive line. He could play guard, and we could move Bergeron out to tackle. I don't hate that either, but he will be expensive. 13 mil. Dion Dawkins wants about 12, and he's older. Josh Myers down there. Will Hernandez is back up to an 80. Spencer Brown. Walker Little. I don't love these options. Landon Dickerson by far is the best player. He wants to be paid like it. Let's see what kind of contract we'd have to construct to get him. He only wants 2 years. We would still have a lot of cap space. I think it's worth trying to get him, and I think I would give him more than 2 years also. Let's take the salary down, but bump the bonus way up. This would be 4 years for 60. That's really not bad. That isn't a terrible price. No, that's not I believe that's less than what he signed for in real life. I want to say he got like 80 million over 4. But he wants to win a championship. He wants a mentor, which we could solve, but we don't have one currently. And he doesn't think he fits the scheme, which is arbitrary. There's no fitting the scheme in Madden, but whatever. We'll make him the offer, and then we'll see what he thinks, at least. So we're tied with 3 other teams. I don't really want to increase that. It's like if we get him, we get him. If not, okay, we save the money. That is just a lot of money to be handing out to a guard. But he's one of the best in the game, so I think we have to make the offer. We have the money. We're not going to be paying a quarterback for a while. We really don't need anything on defense. We also need to trade, what's his name? David Onyemata. Before I forget to do that. Don't need a linebacker. Ooh, Zaire. Ooh, Marquise Bell. Could move him back to safety. See, if I hadn't extended Richie Grant, he would be maybe a target to play at strong safety for me. 95 acceleration. Zaire with 90 acceleration is kind of crazy. Good for him, though. JOK's here. Interesting piece, and he wants 16.5 million per year. That's I mean, he's a hybrid player. He can do multiple things, but we just don't need him. Corner, Greg Newsome would be an upgrade over Clark Phillips, that's for sure. He has no offers. He only wants 10 mil. Now, I know what I said about not needing much on defense, but this is, I feel like, a dirt cheap contract. I mean, I'd give him 6 years and we can go up even to something like that. 63 million over 6. That's dirt cheap for an 87 corner. And I would say to Clark Phillips, I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to be depth now. And Kool-Aid can be our nickel because his press isn't that high. He wants to come. He has good interests. He wants to go to a playoff team, which we were. Let's make this offer and see if we can't get an upgrade at corner. I like the idea. I want to be able to sign him week 1 because I don't want a whole bunch of other teams getting offers on him all of a sudden. So 66 million. That's 5 now. I'm completely fine. That's 11 million per year. That's nothing. That's like half of what he'd get on the open market in real life. L'Jarius Sneed's gonna get 20 plus million per year when he gets traded. Like that's a great deal. I don't know what else to say. Hufunga wants 16 million per. That's more accurate, I would say, for a really good safety. Don't need kicker or punter. And then we got about 20 million left over. I could make a low ball offer to Jordan Love. Kind of the Kirk Cousins deal that I had last year. I don't know what's in the draft. We're going to have to draft someone and develop him, I think. He wants 30 mil per. What if I just gave him like a franchise tag type of contract where it's not really franchise tag, but just a 1 year. You don't have any suitors right now. Prove it. What would this contract look like and what would his interest be? I'm sure it would be low. 19.5. We gotta have a little bit of cap space too, so 1 year for 19 million. This is not a bad deal for Jordan Love. I just don't know if it's the best kind of deal for us. I don't know if Jordan Love at an 80 overall is really the best option for us. I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers are going after Tua. Packers and Dolphins probably. I'll make that offer to him. I'm comfortable with that. If we don't get him, we'll look at the draft or maybe even a trade for somebody. And I gotta remember I need to trade David Onyemata at some point. But hopefully we're gonna get Greg Newsome. I would like to get Landon Dickerson. If we don't, we can survive. And Jordan Love would be an interesting situation. He also only has normal dev. I mean, there might be a quarterback with superstar, X Factor, even. What do you think, Mullet? Do you like a one-year prove-it deal for Jordan Love? If he proves it and he's worth keeping, he's going to be even more expensive in the future. Whereas we could draft a rookie quarterback and have 4 or 5 years of roster control of him being pretty cheap. So it's a tough call because we have nothing. We have Penix, who's a 68 or 69. And then there's the unknown, which is the draft. And I kind of like going into the generated drafts with no knowledge. I don't really scout because it's kind of hard to scout worthwhile information with the way the draft, with the scouting's set up now. What do you think? We'll also have no cap space. Although we are going to trade David Onyemata, we'll have a little cap space. Not much, but a little. He's interested. It's a low ball offer for sure. We have to offer him that to get under the cap, to stay under the cap, obviously. Definitely want Newsome. Dickerson would be fine. We could move McGarry back to tackle. Or we could move Bergeron to tackle. He's the one that probably should go. He's got slightly better pass protection attributes. Jordan Love. I don't love it. I think ultimately we're trying to compete right now, right? Like, we're not guaranteed to get a quarterback in the draft that's any good. However, he's 26, he's only normal dev. It's a low ball offer anyway, so I don't think he's going to accept it. I'm just going to go ahead and withdraw, I think. We're going to go for Newsome. We're going to go for Dickerson. We're still going to have $20 million if we get both. I like that. Let's evaluate. Both have signed. Where did they sign? We did get Greg Newsome. We did not get Landon Dickerson. Tua goes to the Steelers. Okay. Rip Kenny Pickett. Again. And Landon Dickerson also goes to the Steelers. Man. Okay. Now, does our shift change now that we have money to spend again? Two assigned. Jordan Love has 2 offers now. I'm interested to see who the teams are that want him. I'm just going to give him this offer and then withdraw it. It is the Commanders and Saints. And we could give him a bigger offer now that we didn't get Landon Dickerson, but I really don't think that's the best course of action. And now we have $34 million, so do we perhaps think about Amon-Ra St. Brown? Amari Cooper is still very expensive. I believe we would be doing the team a disservice to now not think about Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like Brendan Rice. He played well as a rookie. He's going to be relegated to being the 4th wide receiver on the team. But this is a 99, 25-year-old Amon-Ra St. Brown. And we're not paying a quarterback currently. So I think we kind of owe it to the team to explore this. It's a huge contract. It's more than we would have paid Jordan Love per year. I mean, this is gigantic. Do we really need him? We got Drake London. We got Kyle Pitts. We got Bijan. I would love a 99 X Factor receiver, but I don't think I can justify that contract right now. We should find ways to use our money, though. That's something we still should do, and maybe like Jedrick Wills here. He's a much better pass protector than Caleb McGarry. He could slide over and play right tackle. Yeah, he does have 2 offers. He only wants 10 mil per, so we could make this work and get him. This would be 11 mil per. It's not bad. He's interested. And we have a 5-bar offer on him over the Commanders and Titans. So I think that's going to be our new offensive line target. We did get Greg Newsome, which I kind of glossed over. That's a huge get for our secondary, and was well worth the 11 mil per year to get him. That's crazy. Crazy low. That brings us back to quarterbacks, and with $23 million, maybe we could make a competitive offer for Jordan. We could also even maybe go more than a year. It doesn't have to just be 1 year. I would feel better about signing him if we got him for more than just 1 season. That is just a lot of money though, man. 2 years, $47 million. That is not as high as the Saints and the Commanders. So now we know we're dealing with the Saints, which is a little bit concerning. They did draft Bo Nix, who played last year, but he must not have been great because they only won 3 games. Once again, we would have 0 cap space. We are going to trade David Onyemata, and we do already have 50 players on the roster. I think I feel comfortable making this offer. It's 2 years. We were supposed to have Cousins for 2, and that fell apart when he retired. In real life, he signed for 4. So if Jordan Love was to say okay to this, we'd get him for 2 years on, let's be honest, relatively a cheap contract for a starting quarterback. He's going to get way more than this when his contract's up again. They gave him like a weird restructure instead of the 5th-year option. So I think his contract goes through like 2 years from now, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am. But he hits free agency right now. I definitely want Wills. Obviously, we made a very strong offer on him. I'm not sold on Jordan Love being the future, but he is an 80. He is the best that we could do right now, and we're still probably not going to get him because we only got a 2-bar offer. So let's evaluate. Both players signed. We did not get Jordan Love. We got Jedrick Wills. Big get for the offensive line. Jordan Love will go to the Commanders. Okay, so we don't have to deal with him. He signed a 5-year deal for $150 million. Yeah, that's way more than we offered, obviously. That was only a 3-bar offer from them. As Amon-Ra St. Brown goes to the Jets. I don't know if I would like that if I was a Jets fan. He's a great player, but do the same things for you. I don't know. If you have 2 Garrett Wilsons out there, it's not bad either. And we obviously have more than $500,000 in cap space. Let's try to get that to reset so we can see what we have. $24 million. Will Levis could go to Will Levis. I'm hopeful we can find somebody better than Will Levis in the draft. I'm very hopeful of that. I think our offensive line is good now that we got Wills. We don't need any defensive line or linebacker. Now I know we re-signed Richie Grant. If the future presents an option to get a player better than Richie Grant, I probably would attempt to do so. I know I mentioned Marquise Bell, but that's kind of a lateral move because he's only an 80, even though he's a better athlete. League A, not quite. David Onyemata finally. And I'm going to end up trading a lot of our depth picks for future picks, just because we don't need this many players. David Onyemata. Oh, I see green. I like green. I don't like when all the green teams are over the cap, but I mean, do you really have green interest in David Onyemata when he'd be a 1 overall upgrade? How about Tampa Bay? Tanner Mordecai now is still only a 66 overall, by the way, despite winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. They don't really need David Onyemata either. Chiefs over the cap, Colts over the cap, Eagles over the cap, Giants over the cap, Jaguars over the cap. How about the Jets, who need a quarterback? Imagine that. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers retired after year 1. They brought back Sam Darnold and they drafted Michael Pratt. So not exactly solving that problem. Yeah, we can fit David Onyemata on the Jets here, I think. How about a 2nd rounder to kick things off? About halfway, that's pretty good. How about this 3rd and like a 5? How are we looking? No. May not be able to get the 3rd. Oh, maybe. That's great. Pick 78 for our 3rd string defensive tackle, who's like 32. I like it. Is there anybody else I think we should trade? I like Algier. I don't know if he's going to get extended, but I don't think we should trade him either. Hamler's kind of... I don't know what to do with him. Wills is going to play right tackle. Bertrand was from the practice squad. Could trade Clark Phillips. I mean, he's only 23. I don't think Darius Rush is going to have any trade interest, but we could offer him up here along with Oladapo. Maybe somebody wants some backup secondary players, and the Packers seem to be interested. Not that interested. Maybe we can get a pick here, but it's not going to be... Yeah, it's not going to be more than a fifth, probably. How about a 5 and a 6? How about just the 5, then? Yeah, alright. 2 practice squad guys for 5th. Frees up a little bit more cap, frees up some roster spots for guys that probably weren't going to make the team. Oh no, they got V looking at the Willy Wonka experience thing. I'm surprised she hadn't seen that. Alright, well, we're done with free agency, so we can sim to the draft. I'll try to get one more season underway, at least before the end here. The end. I definitely want to look at Mock Draft 5. Mock Draft 5 is the all-important mock that you can basically tell where everybody's going to get drafted. Drake London's 5th-year option. Yeah. He's going to be very expensive, but yeah. Alright. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Alright, there's Mock Draft 5, so don't sim. And just as a quick recap, not that we did that much. As Jeff Okudah signs with the Steelers. Colts signed Jalen Warren to a decent-sized contract. Let's just get that quick recap of what we've done this offseason, which isn't a lot. So, okay, we got our practice squad players, of course. Kirk Cousins retired on us after just 1 year, as did some veteran mentors Robert Quinn and Jason Verrett. We did re-sign Richie Grant, and also we re-signed AJ Terrell earlier in the regular season, I think at the mid-season point. Released Matt Corral, released Chase, some of our practice squad guys. Caleb McGarry moved inside to guard. Our plan was to get a tackle, which we were able to do. We signed Jedrick Wills, 11 mil per. We signed Greg Newsome, 11 mil per. A great contract for us. Not very player friendly, but it's all he was asking for. So. And then we made a couple trades. David Onyemata to the Jets for 3rd. Darius Rush and Ketan Oladapo for a 5th to the Packers. Not a ton of movement, but getting an 87 corner and a new right tackle upgrade. 2 things. I guess the corner wasn't something I was looking at, but definitely the tackle was something that I knew we had to address, the offensive line. After we gave up the second most sacks last year of anybody. Now, we could debate maybe moving Jake Matthews over to right tackle as opposed to Wills, but I think it would be smarter to just put Wills over there. He won't be a scheme fit. A pass protecting right tackle is not a scheme fit. Goofy. You used to be able to set each position, what kind of player you wanted individually for each position, but now you have to pick from the ones that gives you as options for the entire team. So I try to pick what I think is best. Jedrick Wills being a pass protecting right tackle, not being a scheme fit, is stupid, but whatever. Yeah, Isaac went up to superstar. That was a big change, all the way up from normal. The linebacker position isn't great. I'm probably going to need some kind of star linebacker to come in and be a better player than the ones we have in the future, but not right now. And we got all these draft picks, so we're gonna have to figure out what we want to do. Goofy off scheme fit. Yeah, I don't understand why they don't let you change every position individually to what you want it to be. And I know you can manipulate it to be exactly what you have currently, but if that's what you build, if that's the scheme that you want, I mean that should be something you're able to do. I feel like if you're taking over control of a team as the coach and as the GM, if you want to build your scheme, you know how your team is going to play exactly around what you have. Did Kyle Pitts go up to X Factor? Am I just now noticing that, by the way? Had to interrupt myself. He did. Kyle Pitts is just back up to X Factor. He does not want to be lower. Okay. Don't mind that. I'd like to see London have a better season and go up to Superstar, but don't mind it. Now, okay, hold on. Wait a minute. There we go, Matthews. I moved Wills to right tackle, so it had Wills at left tackle and had Matthews at right tackle. I don't understand that, but whatever. And of course, right now, Penix is our quarterback. He does have star dev. I mean, if we don't get a quarterback, we can start him, and he'll develop somewhat. He really concerns me as a 69 overall. Oh, Jesse Bates went back up to X Factor as well. Okay. I mean, great. That's fantastic. Not going to complain. No complaints from me. So now we look at the all-important mock draft 5, and we see what is in this draft class. A 6'3", 337-pound guard going number 1 overall is not what I expected to see, I'll be honest. Derek Cameron, number 1 overall. He must be very good, I hope, for a team to be considering taking him number 1 overall. There are some quarterbacks. Lucas McCain, JT Rivers, top 5 options if we wanted to trade all the way up. Nick Stackhouse. Running back to the Lions, mocked in the first round. Seems not a good idea. Oscar Carvajal to the Giants, who beat us in the playoffs. Who did it have us taking? Willie Ford, right tackle. Well, we solved that with Jedrick Wills. It just didn't realize it. I think if there's a quarterback that looks at all decent, I think we have to go that route. So there's 4 that could go first round that were being mocked in the first round. Just from these, the top 4 skills, which does not include throw power. Well, Glacius would be a scheme fit, and he has A to B throw under pressure. Let's check him out. And we may not have to trade all the way up for him. He's not a good athlete. That'll be something as well that I have to take into A, trucking relative to other quarterbacks. One of the best soccer players in the world has that name pronounced Carvajal. Carvajal. It's a very important sidebar. Well, if we end up drafting that guy, it should be important that I know how to say his name, I suppose. Let's check him out. 23 scrambler. 4'4". Now, a running quarterback is not going to do much for us in the sim. So he's 23. He's much more. He's a much better athlete, but in a sim franchise, is that really going to do that much for us? If there's a better looking passing quarterback, I think we have to go for them. I don't think Ryan McLeod is going to be the guy. D, short accuracy. Not great. Lucas McCain. 22. Not a good athlete. Christian Fuller to the Chargers. Alright, that's something. They do need corner help still, I would say, so that's one. Kevin Iglesias fell 98 draft spots, apparently. How is that? Because he's still projected to go first, second round. I don't know. The only guy we scouted to 100% is Carvajal. Now, having scouted this guy 100%, does it look like I know what his ratings are? No. In fact, okay, his throw power is great. That might be worth taking him then. I mean, the throw power is great, unless there's an elite throw power guy. McCain only has good. JT Rivers has good. Maybe if Iglesias has great, he might be the target. He's also only 21. He only has good. This is interesting. I think this might be the guy. Out of Clemson. Small school quarterbacks ahead of him. North Texas, UL Lafayette, and UConn with a TCU in there. This might be the guy. Carvajal. And where is he going in the mock? Oh. Okay, mock draft 5. UConn having a good player on their roster is wild. Best player since Donald Brown, Colts legend. We got McCain going 3, Rivers at 5. For the mock, anyway. And then Carvajal is the 3rd projected quarterback to go to the Giants. Well, I would much rather take him than a backup tackle, even though he looks very good as well. Maybe we don't have to trade up, and then I could just trade my depth picks around. Let's get into it. Let's get into this draft, see what happens. And hope that I don't take the wrong quarterback. And hope that he has hidden dev. That's another thing, like somebody that might be a worse overall might have higher dev. So, oh well, we'll just sim to our pick, I think. See what's available.
With the next selection, the Falcons are on the clock.
Yes, we are. Here we go. Pick 23. Willie Ford is the #1 player available. And he does look like a very good tackle. We could take him and then trade Caleb McGarry if we wanted to go that route. He's 22. He has multiple A skills. Not elite strength. Only 33rd bench press at his pro day. 29. Which would actually have been very high in the real combine. But a lot of guys doing better than him. He does look very good, but we don't need an offensive lineman like we need a quarterback. Zion Newton, heck of a name. Braxton Drake, heck of a name. That seems like a player the Falcons would like, 6'6", 270. That basically is Zach Harrison. Jerome Nixon, I think, was the top running back. The quarterbacks are available. The ones that we thought would be. I think it's Carvajal. 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 He's obviously ranked true talent is round 1. We don't know Iglesias' true talent, unfortunately. We got all these guys to 85%, and it just doesn't help out that much. Willie Ford or Willie Chevy? Willie Toyota? I think this is the guy, though. He's going to go to the Giants if we don't take him. He's got 4.4 speed. He's just 23. Accurate short ball, great Ritter replacement. A lot of B's in there. The deep accuracy being C isn't great. Medium's B, short is A, which is great. He doesn't have that one other guy had. A awareness probably will factor into his overall being pretty high. We'll take calculated risks. Beautiful spiral. Could use improvement at recognizing pressure. But he does have 4.4 speed, so that'll help. Does well to avoid sacks by throwing the ball away. Loves to run and play outside of structure. Fast, old school, compact throwing motion. I like the sound of those things. Let's do it. He does have hidden dev. He looks like he's an elite athlete. He has 92 throw power. We'll see his ratings in their entirety in a bit. And we'll see if he sticks with number 6. That kind of looks kind of weird. I'm good with that. I'm very good with that. At 23. I wasn't planning on that. Kirk Cousins was supposed to be here, but that's okay. Out of Clemson.
The Atlanta Falcons are now on the clock.
Don't know how many picks I'm going to want to make. If there's a amazing looking receiver, maybe we go that route. I don't know really what else we would take. There's a corner out of Ohio State. Take another quarterback. Take Ryan McLeod. Was that guy's last name Cheese? No, Crease. Also out of UConn. What kind of season did UConn have? They got two quarterbacks going to be drafted. That's kind of wild. Some running backs. Don't need. Could use a fullback. Obviously not in the second round. This guy's probably the best. Jared McDonald. What team used to run 2 or 3 QBs? Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State briefly. I don't know. There's been several, not really intentionally, but when you have a couple guys and you don't have an established starter, it's not the best idea. How about an Ohio State receiver? Those are usually pretty good. Demarius Pounds. 4.5. He's not a burner. His release is a B. Where's just catching B to D, so probably a C. D deep route. F medium route. Or short. Can you run any routes? No. D short route. I don't think he's going to be an upgrade to what we have. I don't think we really need a receiver, although Jalen Donald has A catching. He also has F release and F deep route running, so that's not good. We do have some older offensive line players. Here's a pass protecting tackle with A awareness. He is 23 and he has D run blocking. Strength marginal. That's not good. Okay. Never mind. What I was going to say, though, we do have some older offensive line players, and maybe it would be good to get a young player we can develop, even if it's only the second round. There's several players that have the exact same face. How about this guy? And he's got F run block again. Richard Hood. Depth is good. We do have backups, but we don't really have a young guy that we're like developing to start in the future. But I'm not seeing anybody's skills jump off the page either here, so oh, now wait a minute. I say that and then I see a bunch of A's here. Hold on. Antonio McLeod, pass protector. He's the fastest center, or guard, I should say. A awareness, A pass block finesse, only C run block. He kind of seems more like a tackle. He could be our backup left tackle and develop there behind Matthews. I don't mind this idea, I just don't think he's going to be a super high overall. But we've got a lot of draft picks. We're going to be trading some of them for future picks. I think we need at least one guy that I can develop on the O-line. I don't mind this guy. Let's do it. Does have hidden dev. It's huge. Only 57 change of direction is low, obviously. 70 speed, though. We'll see what his ratings look like. Maybe he can be the backup left tackle. Maybe not. There's probably an O-lineman better than him available, and I just didn't see based on the skills. But we literally pick again in 2 picks, so.
It's the Atlanta Falcons. On the clock.
What else? What else do we think we need? I did trade David Onyemata. We do have T'Vondre Sweat. However, Grady's getting up there. Maybe we consider a D-tackle. Bobby Baldwin. B power moves. Out of LSU's. Got good size. Onyemata and On Your Father. He's very fast and very strong. I like that combination. As a dad, I feel the need to force the terrible jokes. Made me think of onomatopoeia. While I'm thinking of it, let's check out the games that are currently on. Calipari to mold changes. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Nebraska, Northwestern and FAU in overtime. And they're up by 11? I'll give that one to Northwestern. Geesh, I think I picked FAU. My bracket's falling apart a little bit after being 9-0. That's okay. It was always going to happen. Let's see what else is going on. Baylor beat Colgate. The start of UConn and Stetson has been delayed, it says. Probably waiting for this Northwestern game to end. Marquette and Western Kentucky are in a close one in the first half. Huh. Alright. V's looking at some gamer sups. Glasses with anime waifus on them. Alright, let's take Bobby Baldwin here. He also has hidden dev.
It's the Las Vegas Raiders.
He'll only be our D-tackle 3, but he can develop behind Grady and Sweat. Pick Northwestern. That's a dub for you. You might pass me for most correct games so far. Now we go to the 3rd round.
On the clock now.
There goes Ryan McLeod. He's going to back up. CJ Stroud. He is from TCU. Stays in Texas. Now, I did say I was going to probably trade some of these draft picks, so we're probably going to have to do that. You know how I like my corners from Ohio State, except for Eli Apple. Here's a linebacker. Gerald Barkley. Is he better than Deshaun Darman, though? I'm not convinced that he is. So let's look at Deshaun Darman first. He is 23. He's definitely a middle linebacker. 6'3", 250. Good speed, good strength. Not elite, but good. His strength actually just says decent, which is kind of low. His combine and pro day look good, like everything combined. He's just not an elite athlete, and we don't really need a linebacker. I mean, if he was like a 75 with hidden dev, sure, but... Let's look at outside linebackers, too. They're all going to be rushers, mainly, though, which we don't need. Tyrese Vance, D. Blockshed. Kyrie Wheeler is a speed rusher. Yeah, we just don't really need that. I still don't mind the idea of taking a wide receiver. We got playmakers and we got physical types. There's a deep threat. Mark Wallner out of Florida State. D release 4-4-2-4. There's somebody faster than that? Do I look through all the receivers to find who is faster than a 4-2-4? That's pretty fast. Deion Alexander, deep threat. It's only 21. He ran the 4-2-4. Well, there you go. Didn't have to look through very many of them. B to D catching. B deep route. Only D release. What's that other guy look like? Mark Wallner. Needs to work on simple concentration drops. I don't know if we need a receiver that badly if he can't catch. C to F catching. B deep route, D release. It's like the same as the other guy. Is there a receiver down the board that looks interesting? They gotta have good catching. Somebody in this class is bound to have good catching, right? Like they're all C to F, every single one of them. There's a B, Ben Jackson. Undrafted. And he can catch the ball better than the 20 guys ahead of him. He's 24. He can't run routes. He's pretty fast. F release. F deep route. I think I would rather just trade for a decent receiver if I was going to add one. Is there anything else we really need? I don't need a corner. We could use a backup safety. I don't love the skill, like C to D zone coverage, or C to F zone coverage. This guy is B to D. Bo Pettis. Let's look at, oh, he's undrafted. Undrafted talent, or projected. 4-5. I really just don't like this scouting because I feel like I get a really bad impression or a really good impression of everybody. Nobody has like, oh yeah, this guy could, This guy's worth a third-round pick right here. It's like, oh, this guy's great. How is he still here? Or this guy sucks. I hate to say let's just trade all of the rest of our picks, but I think that's probably what's going to happen. I'm sure there's players in here that are worth taking. Like, here's a center, Matthew Clement, out of Ohio State. Chris Lindstrom could eventually move back to guard. He is very fast. He is scooting. He does not necessarily look like a player that would be running 4.74 because he looks like he's about 400 pounds. A, impact block. B, awareness. B, pass block. I'm in. This will be the last player we take. He also has hidden. We're getting lucky with the dev traits. I'm not going to push that luck anymore. We're going to trade the rest of our picks. So what do we get? We got a quarterback, 2 offensive linemen, a defensive tackle. I think that's it. Flawless drafting. Yes, certainly. I've definitely taken all of the best possible players so far. I hope so. I hope they're decent overalls to start out with. We have a lot of picks left, too. This is going to be hard to trade all these, kind of. But we should be able to get a lot of high picks for next year. Like, see if we can get a Bears second rounder here. No. I think we can get, like, a better team's second rounder, though. Like the Bengals, even though it's projected kind of high. Oh, I did not. I missed that one. At 4, I'm leaving for dinner. Okay. We got an hour. Got you. How did I miss that one? I didn't want to see it. I didn't want you to go. But the Bills. Well, hopefully by then I will have at least moved on to the next season. So 3, 2 6s for a future 2 goes through. A 3 and a 5 and a 7. That should be able to get a future 2 as well. Denver, no. Browns at 50 maybe. Not even close. Okay, so maybe we settle for a 3 here, like the Bears. Future 3. That should go through. Yeah. And we still have 3s and 4s, so how about a 3 and a 4 and a 7 next year? This might be enough to get a 2. Not a really high 2 though. 48 might be too high still. 35. Why are the Texans projected to be so bad? 45. 42. Where are the good teams? Saints are the worst team. Ravens? Ravens. Does this get a 2? No? What if instead of a future 7 we give you a future 6? Done deal. And 2 4s and a 7 should get us a 3. Rams. We get a 3. Alright, so we traded the rest of our picks. Still have $40 million in cap space. I might go out and get a receiver. We might make something happen there. Because $42 million in cap space is unnecessary to have that much remaining when we're trying to win a Super Bowl. I like the makeup of the team. I guess maybe if we'd been able to get Jordan Love and Landon Dickerson, that cap space would have been gone, but shame Amon-Ra didn't happen. Probably should have pursued that more aggressively, but we didn't have 40 million at the time. We only had 30 million, and that would have been basically all of it. So let's see how we did. Hopefully the quarterback's decent. That's really the make or break here. He's decent. Alright, he is decent. Oscar Carvajal. Does have 91 speed. He would be fun to play with in a franchise where we play the games. He's not going to be number 11. He was number 6 out of the draft. Now he wants to take Julio's number. Julio did retire, by the way, after the first season. We'll give him 4, since that's the only single-digit number available at the moment. And we'll make him a captain as well, to replace Kirk. Now, he's not an elite passer. 72 field general, 71 strong arm. Does have 76 awareness. We're going to have to work on the deep accuracy, but everything looks pretty good. He's really not that far off of how good Kirk Cousins was. Cousins was the 23rd ranked QB. Now, obviously, the athleticism bumps him up, but he shouldn't be getting sacked 55 times with that type of athleticism. And of course, we won't know his dev trait for a while. His motivations are kind of iffy. He doesn't think he's a scheme fit. Kansas is, I guess, relatively close to Atlanta. Alright, 23-year-old rookie QB is a 75. That's much better than I'd hoped, to be honest. And our offensive linemen are great. Antonio McLeod, 75, out of the draft. He's definitely going to be the backup left tackle, and he's definitely going to need some development. The pass protecting is great. The agility is not so great. The power is obviously not good either. But he can develop behind Jake Matthews as a scheme fit for now. And he's a 74 at left tackle. Bobby Baldwin was a miss, it would seem. Although he does have hidden dev. This is kind of Marlon Davidson right here. Not the best pick, but you know, he's got hidden dev. And then Matthew Clement. Also doesn't look great. 64 pass pro. Very Marlon Davidson. Does have 86 strength. Does have 79 run block. I think he's more of a guard. Maybe we'll put him at left guard for now. I mean, they're two developmental linemen with dev traits, so I'm not mad about it. Do I wish they were both a bit higher? Yeah. He's going to be a 74 guard, though. We got a 74 tackle, a 75 QB. Not bad. Let's take a look at everything else that happened. The guard did go number 1, and he's only a 74. This guy went number 1 overall. And look how bad he is. we got the same player basically in the 3rd round, so okay. A tackle went at 2. The QB at 3 is a 72, which is basically the same as a passer as our guy. The QB at 5 is a 71, which is worse than our guy. Were there any, like, outstanding players in this class? No 80s, it seems. 75 D tackle. 75. Oh, our quarterback, 75. Is our quarterback one of the highest players in the draft? a 78 running back to the Giants, so he can sit behind Saquon. That's fun. Why would you take a running back when you have Saquon in the first round? I want to see all of the QBs. Unfortunately, you can't sort by only position, so we'll sort by round. We got the highest rated quarterback of round 1 for sure. This guy does have higher awareness. Rivers is also a scrambler. He has 90 speed. Didn't realize that based on the 40 time. Second round, this guy is a 66. Glad we evaluated him enough to know that he was not going to be as good as Carvajal. I'll get it eventually. So glad we didn't spend a second round pick on a backup like the Bears did. Good for them. And then what do we got? 65, 67, 67, 67, 63, 66. Definitely a UConn QB. There was another one, right? One of these other guys was from UConn. Was he better? It's 58. 65 out of Akron, J. Brazil. Interesting. Breaking news. That was a pretty bad drum roll. Overwatch 2 PvE completely canceled. Not the breaking news I was thinking you were going to say. So, I kind of expected this. There was a article that was a few days ago that was about the devs feared that PvE will be canceled. And it's like if you're already saying that to the point where somebody's writing an article called Devs Fear the PvE has been canceled, then it was probably already going to be canceled. And I told Shadow this sucks unless the only way this won't just absolutely be the dumbest decision of all time to completely get rid of all of it after they made a big deal about, well, we're getting rid of it, but we're going to do this thing and we're going to charge you $15, blah, blah, blah. The only way this isn't a complete and colossal failure on their part is if they now transition back to animated shorts. Without the PvE, if they don't release more lore in the form of shorts, there was no point. I mean, the last thing ended with a cliffhanger about Zenyatta and Talon, and now PvE's over. We didn't sell enough. We didn't get enough people to pay $15 last time, so no more PvE. It's not worth it. The only thing that can save it is if they transition back to making shorts and actually releasing them. Or dare I say it finally happens. Overwatch the movie / the TV show. If one of those things happen, I can forgive there not being PvE. I can forgive it. Even as much as dedicated as I've been to hating on Blizzard for their PvE related decisions, for the Overwatch League related decisions, which obviously took manpower away from making what they wanted to make. Bobby Kotick and his rationale and unrational decisions about Overwatch League. I'm willing to. I'm not going to forgive Bobby Kotick. I mean, he's done some wacky shenanigans, but I'm willing to look past the PvE getting canceled now thing if they at least do the lore that would have been in those PvE missions and release them as animated shorts. There's only one way Overwatch can survive now. Cut to a Fortnite ad where all characters are now skins in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens eventually. There's been, like, have you ever seen the survey lists? Overwatch is always on those survey lists. They send out surveys to people and would you like to see this IP in Fortnite? And there's always Overwatch on there, so maybe not every character, but I could definitely see some getting added. Fortnite has everything, so. And maybe I'd rather play Fortnite as an Overwatch character than Overwatch as an Overwatch character. Maybe. I'm not sure. Although I haven't been playing Fortnite either. I basically play sports games and SpongeBob Roblox. That's all I've been playing. It's today update day for SpongeBob Roblox, actually. Alright, I'm cutting the stream. I gotta go play SpongeBob. Thanks for coming. I probably will play some of that later today, but I also have to do some grocery shopping once again, even though I literally was out yesterday. Somebody's gonna get cut here, and I think it's gonna be Hayden Howerton, who made it through the practice squad process. Somehow he has the trade target young tag. I don't think we're getting much value for a 64 or a 63 guard. 62. We can try. I mean, we've got so many picks already, but we can. Obviously, nobody's gonna want him. We can try to get a pick here. Oh, not from a team that's over the cap. How are they over the cap? They're just fine being over the salary cap. Yeah, we're not even gonna get a 7th round pick for him. But yeah, to wrap up Overwatch the movie / the show / at least animated shorts. And if they don't, I mean, it's just a colossal failure of the game. And they can say, oh, well, we always intended to do these things and we just weren't able to because previous ownership. And it's like, well, what are the current people thinking? The current higher-ups of Blizzard and Activision. It's like, make these things actually happen. It's not that hard. Oh, but we don't want to miss time dedicating to the live game. I ain't playing that live game no more. Ain't nobody playing Overwatch. Overwashed. Alright, yeah, people are still playing Overwatch. But the league's over, buddy. Overwatch League's gone. They're Overwatch Esports now. It's not Overwatch League, alright? We can scale back on how much attention we're giving to esports and actually work on the game, can't we? The amount of times I complained when Overwatch 2 was first announced that it was going to be a 2 and not just an update, and the reasoning of, oh, well, they have to make a sequel because the game's so big, and like that's hoopla. That's nothing. That's blah 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 in my ears. They should have just made an update, and when they had all of the PvE ready to go, then they make that a whole separate game, a story game, whereas you can play as the characters. It could even be co-op. That's fine. It didn't need to be in Overwatch 1 in the first place, and it didn't need to become Overwatch 2 to incorporate PvE in the first place. PvE should have always been its own separate game, but because they got a bunch of incompetent people over there working on it, who didn't know how to handle the IP, and who are always more concerned with Overwatch League, and we have to make the game the best it can be for the GM players and the streamers. Oh, he's making fun of streamers. Oh, Flats is gonna see it, he's gonna make fun of him. Oh no, you Skillet, what are you doing? I've lived through the past 7 years, right? I've seen the catering. I've seen it happen. I've seen the nonsensical balance updates back and forth. Gotta tweak this person, gotta nerf this character, gotta buff this one. I've seen it. I've lived it. I played the game for 5 years, consistently. Every day. Alright, I played the game every day for like 3 years. Anyway. Bruh. Overwashed. That's kind of the funniest thing to come out of the stream to me. Overwashed. The fact that a Blizzard game that's massively successful can't produce PvE content baffles me. Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, when they released Overwatch 2, they made millions of dollars from people buying the $40 pack, which I bought. And I bought coins to buy La Seraphim skins because I'm an idiot. And I'm like, ooh, pretty skins. Here's $50. Sure hope the game gets better. What a disaster. Lack of care or effort. The battle pass in the shop became the care of Overwatch 2. 100%. Oh, but Skillet, there's still devs there that want to make the game as good as it can be. Well, of course there are. That's every game. That's literally every game. Of course there's people that still work on the game that want to make it the best it can be. And that's great. If there aren't, shut it down. If no one there cares anymore, shut it down. It's time to end. But I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are people that want it to be as good as it can be. That's great. We can blame the higher ups. That's fine. I'm fine blaming the higher ups. I'm not trying to blame Joe the developer. Joe the developer that's been working at Blizzard tirelessly for the past 10 years. I'm not blaming Joe the developer, alright? Crazy. Yes, the amount of things that weren't just like, oh yeah, we're kind of working on this and we'll see if we get to it. Promised in 2019 as a distraction from other things that we don't have to get into that Blizzard's been revolving around. We don't have to get into all that, I guess. Disaster. Yes, they're still making money. Yes, people are still playing the game. I'm not stupid. So, if somebody is lurking and is like, oh, I'm gonna clip all this and I'm gonna show it to X, Y, and Z streamers and they're gonna make fun of you, like, I get it. All right, I'm not an idiot. Maybe I am an idiot, but I'm not that much of an idiot. I'm just a Falcons Rebuild streamer, man. I'm just celebrating Mullet's birthday. That's all. We got 52 players. Is there anything I actually need? Like, I know I mentioned wide receiver, but the simulation only uses 3, so... We got 3 quarterbacks, we got 3 running backs. Oh, we don't have a fullback. Oh, that's the most important part of the team. Oh, no. I think I'm good on literally everything else. So maybe what we'll do is we'll simulate through preseason and we'll get ready for the start of season 2, and then we'll leave off there for now. And I will commit to doing more seasons. I know I've fallen off in the past. I still have a spreadsheet for the Madden 23 rebuild of players that I was planning on extending and players that I wanted to trade. And I just never got to it, and I apologize. But I will commit to doing more streams. I don't know when exactly. Could be tomorrow. Possibly. Could wait till Monday. Could be a month from now, because we do got March Madness going on. And of course I need to play Overwatch. I need to play Overwatch in there sometime. Rip, man. I used to love playing Overwatch so much for so long. That's another thing. People want to attack other people for making fun of it. It's like I played the game and I loved the lore, I loved the characters, I loved the design. Even the game itself isn't really that bad. It's just like a drudgery to make myself play multiple games at a time. I like CJ Ham. I think we'll just bring back Blasting Game, though. And that's 53 players. There's not a free agent. I mean, we have a lot of draft picks. If we wanted, we could make a big splash. And I know I could have tried to sign Amon-Ra. I probably should have. But we could make a big splash. Potentially. If it shows me the receivers. Let's see, Jefferson's been paid. Jamar Chase has not been paid yet. The fact that Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra St. Brown are the same age and overall is kind of weird. CD Lamb is... Oh yeah, they have been paid. Look at that penalty. Never mind. Never mind. Puka. Is Puka Nacua the missing piece? He's an X Factor. He's up to 94 in the slot. He's got some developing to do still. He is only 24. Is Puka Nacua? Puka due for a bag. We could be the ones to give it to him. Here's our draft picks. We got a lot of second rounders to work with. Mooney would slide back into being the number 3. Could trade Hamler to move him out. We'd be able to keep Rice as our wide receiver 4. He could continue to develop. I'm liking the idea, man. They would get a receiver back who they're slightly interested in. If I could give them Hamler and 2 picks for Puka, that would be exceptional. It might take 2 firsts, but... And that still may not be enough. That's not going to be enough. That's not going to be anywhere near enough, is it? Oh, boy. Well... That's not even halfway. What if I take Hamler out? Give him a second. It's not going to be even close. It is close. Maybe I missed something, but... Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, PS4 didn't get the updates. Yeah, we could definitely make it happen with 6 spots. I'd be willing to give them 6 second round picks, but... Yeah. Because they make 2 versions of the game, and only one of them that they've bothered to update. No, it's not. It's not a hardware issue. It's a effort issue. They don't care. What I'm thinking now is to try and trade up these like second round picks so that I can have more ammo to get Puka. And I might have to trade up one of my... Let's go to the trade screen. I might have to trade up one of my first rounders as well. I think I've committed to trying to make this work. Because it was close enough that if I trade up some, I think I can make it happen. And then we can pay him. It's going to be a lot of money, but... We can tag London if we need to. Mooney's not going to be here forever. Yeah, let's try and trade this first round pick up into like the top 10 would be ideal. Broncos have 13. Let's try that. Trade has been accepted. What? It usually doesn't take that much to trade up in terms of draft pick to draft pick. However, when you're talking about first rounders, that can take a lot. But maybe not that much. Trading up 12 spots here for a 2 and a 5. That's worth it. Okay, Rams. That might be enough. Man, they still have Aaron Donald. They're going to trade Puka Nacua. That is the opposite of the type of team building that they should be doing. But where's my first round pick? I just love Madden, man. I didn't trade it. It's just a glitch. When you're in the trade screen for too long, it starts hiding your picks. It's like a little game of hide and seek. Ooh, where'd your pick go? Where did it go? You better go back out the menus and then come back in and find it. There it is. Oh, there's the pick. Don't you just love EA? I sure do. I love EA, and almost as much as I love Blizzard. They're both so great. Boy. Alright, let's throw Hamler into this. See if we can make it happen with him. Did that go down? Oh. Okay, well. It was probably going to take 3 picks anyway, but I didn't expect it to go down with Hamler. I'm not crazy. They had interest in him before, and now it's going down. A 1, 2, and a 3 would be great. Done deal. A 1, 2, and a 3 for Puka Nacua. Let's get a little screenshot of that. A 1, 2, and a 3 in 2026. Now, granted, Puka was a former, 6th round pick, so it's not great value to be getting for a former 6th round pick. However, he is a 94 receiver now, so I like it. We get Puka. Drake London can play in the slot now. Big slot. That's what we were going to do anyway. And then KJ Hamler we can trade to the Rams if they want him. For whatever. For Aaron Donald. Duh. He'll be their wide receiver 3. They got Brandon Cooks back. That's interesting. Let's see if we just can't get like a 2 back. That'd be kind of funny. Probably not. Maybe a 3. Maybe a 3. Maybe we'll take that 4. Yeah. Maybe a 4. Maybe we won't even get a 4. Or they have a lower 4. And we do get the 4 for Hamler. Okay. Puka Nacua. 94 overall Puka is a Falcon. We are up to an 85 everything. Let's go check out our new number 1 target. Which is a bit of a bummer for Brendan Rice, but maybe he becomes our wide receiver 3 over time. I could actually... We could get a little silly. We could put Mooney in the slot, but we could have Brendan Rice be the wide receiver 3. And maybe they would play a little more in the sim. What is his jersey number? Surely not 11? It's 11. The sim loves handing out number 11. They tried to give it to our quarterback. They tried to give it to some depth players that I've signed in the past. Could be 0. What number? He's 17, right? That must be taken. We'll give him 14. That was just KJ Hamler. Who's 17? It's not a receiver. It's not a quarterback. It's not a kicker or a punter. Who the heck is 17? It's not retired because Madden doesn't have retired jersey numbers. Unlike 2K. Who in the world is number 17 on this roster? Oh, it's Arnold Ebiketie. It just came to me as I got to the defense. Arnold. Yeah. It popped into my head. I'm like, surely it's nobody on the defense would be number 17. Nope, it's Ebiketie. Well, he's just going to have to be 14. That's okay. Alright, well, that's our 53-man roster for the year. Pretty good. We do have cap space for now, which is nice, but we are going to have to pay some guys. Like Puka. And like Drake London, also. But we don't have to pay a quarterback for 5 years. Cheap quarterback play is good. Bijan we won't have to pay for 3 more years still. That's nice. I guess we could pay Algier. Maybe, or we let him walk. Oh, look at that. This is only year 3 for Puka. We won't even have to pay him yet. Awesome. We will have to pay... Well, if Drake London's 5th year option kicks in. But we still won't have to pay him a ton yet. Still have Mooney for 3 years. Still have Rice for 3 years. Maybe we trade Mooney next year. Or the year after. Pitts we're going to have to pay. That's his 5th year option, only $9 million. Matthews is still expensive. Lundstrom's expensive. That's fine. McGarry's going to be a free agent, which means more than likely Matthew Clement will take his spot next year. And then I know we have McLeod. Do they have the same face? I think I'm good with letting Matthews stay at left tackle until he retires, or at least until that contract's up. McLeod, I don't have to start. Clement probably will start next year. Yeah, they do have the same face. Jedrick Wills at right tackle. 3 years of cheap Isaac. Ebiketie we gotta make a decision on. He's only normal. No, he's star, isn't he? Star dev, yeah. He's gonna be 27. That's a tough one. We'll see what he wants. Grady Jarrett's in a contract year. If Baldwin had been like way better, I probably would have started thinking about maybe moving on from Grady, letting him go, but he's going to be much cheaper than 20 million. And he's going to be worth keeping around for at least 1 more year, so I'll extend him. Caden Ellis might be time to let him walk. Ivan Pace will get a big extension. That's a 7-year deal, easily. Nate Landman, I already paid, like, whatever money to. Like, it's starting caliber money, but he's our 3rd linebacker. So really, I'd just like to replace Ellis after this year. We've got Terrell and Newsome for 6 years. McKinstry for 4 more because of the 5th year option. Really good at corner. That Newsome signing's a huge upgrade. Jesse Bates for 2 more. We are in good shape financially. We really don't have anybody to pay other than Kyle Pitts this year. Ebiketie, yeah. Probably. Grady Jarrett will come back, but not for that much money. Probably going to let Caleb McGarry walk. He does have a nice picture. He's smiling. He's got the hair flowing. It's a nice picture. I don't know if that's worth a 2 or 3 year contract though. Ivan Pace will get a 7-year deal from me probably. We'll see about Algier. See what he wants. Pinion is not necessary to pay. Caden Ellis won't be necessary to pay. D'Angelo Malone, no. Blasingham or Belton, no. Rumpf, Schwartz. Helms was on the practice squad year 1, so that's why he's already a free agent. And I probably won't pay him money to stay around. Troy Anderson, wasn't able to develop him because I didn't start him, so really good athlete, but not gonna catch on here. Fitzpatrick, Carpenter, Gwynn, Duggan, all former practice squad guys, including Gwynn and Fitzpatrick, who were on there the first year. I really like the team. It is 3:30, so I should probably start wrapping it up because I gotta do my depth chart deep dive and make sure I like how everything is for the regular season. We can sim through preseason though. I think we can. There's time to do that. Yeah, getting Puka is huge, obviously, and not having to pay him for 2 more years. We could even flip him in a year and get picks back if we needed to desperately. I don't think we will need to do that, but that's an option rather than pay him $30 million a year. But again, we should have cap space to do so. Now, does Puka Nacua really need first one free? Should that really be his X factor ability? Jukes, spins, and hurdles, and he's got return man. What is the game doing? Like, give him double me. Give him matchup nightmare. What are we thinking here? Instead of short, let's do like a medium. Mid, in, maybe. Why would it give him something about jukes and something about return ability? Those are not things that a wide receiver 1 does. Except for, I guess, Tyreek Hill. It's just silly. What are we doing? We can continue to develop Brendan Rice, although he won't play in the sim, which kind of stinks. McCaffrey is just kind of hanging around, and Schwartz is there just because he's fast from the practice squad. I like the look of this team, though. I really do. I like the decision to kick Lindstrom and McGarry farther inside, and we got a true right tackle out there. Well, a true tackle. He's a left tackle, but, you know, it's a true tackle. QB is a question mark, but everything looks pretty solid. He does have to develop. That is true. Now, again, for the sim, will it really matter all that much? Maybe not. He could be great right off the bat. He could be stuck kind of being mediocre through his whole career, just because that's how the sim might work. I do agree with you. He definitely needs to develop, and he is also 23. He's not like a 21-year-old where you get 2 really good years of development before he even gets to 23. So that's a bit concerning, but we gave him the weapons. Nobody can say I didn't give him weapons. We gave him Puka. He's got Drake London. I signed Mooney. He's going to have Pitts for his whole career. Oh, and yeah, Bijan Robinson. Hadn't even mentioned him. We got a good looking defense. It's got some pieces that aren't super high rated. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Like, the linebacking core isn't great. Richie Grant isn't great. What you want, Oreo? You want to say hi to Mullet? Say happy birthday to him? You just gotta smell my hand and walk away? Okay. Well. Puka is in the slot right now. Yeah, we'll have to change some things for the regular season, but we can sim the preseason. First matchup is with the Colts. Did I ever send a picture of my new second cat? I want to say no. I want to say no to that. I would like to see cat. We won. Wait. Oh, we beat the Colts. I didn't even register. I didn't want it to. Will do. Alright. I enjoy some good cats. A lot of my TikTok FYP has been cats lately. Alright, I'll spare anyone from having to look at me sign practice squad players as well, so I think we'll probably end here, and then for the next stream I will be ready to go for season 2, technically, the 2025 season. But there's the team. We improved at wide receiver. We kind of got worse at quarterback. But I would prefer to have a younger guy than a veteran. So